Hello, this is Fred, and we're going to be doing homework 3. So, over here on the left, you can see that homework 3 is asking us how to create a simple SQL statement on the friend table. Now, this select statement is fairly simple, but it's very versatile in being able to handle and manipulate large amount of data. So then we're going to go over here to Postgres, which I've already loaded. And I've got the database here, so I open database, I've got the homework database open, and the table's down here, friends. This is the one we're going to be selecting from. So we can just open this right now so that we can see what's going on at the same time. Now see, this is what was created in the last homework. I've already got a bunch of columns here with a bunch of information ready to go. So there's nothing in it right now, but if we just take a minute to enter some random data, we can test to see if our select statement is working. So we'll just do some basic name stuff. Okay, now we open up this SQL language editor, and that's this button right here. We come over here and we can do a simple select star from people. You need to give the schema name dot and then the table name, so friends. And then let's run it and see what it gives us. Okay, now as you can see, there's nothing here. That's because I haven't updated this. I haven't saved it yet. If I save it and run it again, there, see? It queries the data and it displays all of the empty rows as well as the rows I have because I told it to select star, which is the same thing as saying select all from peoples and friends. Okay, so that was the first part of it. So next we have to create a table named phone num with fields, person ID, phone num, and link that to the friends table. Discuss what fields are related to. Okay, so we can go ahead and close out of this. No, we don't want to save that. That's simple. Okay, so let's go to tables, right click, new table. It says to name this one phone num. We go over here to columns. We're going to add a column. Person ID. Now ID numbers are always integers. Go ahead and do that. Add another column. We have phone ID. Phone IDs are also integers. Most ID numbers are integers because they don't have a lot of other characters in it. Now, phone number. Now, there's many different types of ways we can do this, but the one that we did in our previous table was to have it numeric. So we're going to, for the sake of consistency, we're going to do that. Okay, now it wants us to link the other table to this one. Now, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to create a foreign key. Just name it FK, foreign key. Columns, and it's going to reference the person ID in the friends table. Now this way, I know that no matter how many I have in my phone number column, it's that person is always going to exist in my friends column already. So go ahead and add that. Now it wants me to create a primary key, but that'll sort of mess things up for me later on if I do my insert statements. So we're just going to keep it as is right now. Okay, so now that we've created that and we've discussed how the foreign key will relate the two tables, basically the foreign key ensures that I can't enter any data that isn't already in the friends table. Now we're going to insert some data records from friends, or into friends, and phone numbers into the two tables. This can be accomplished using an insert statement. Now I've prepared this statement already, so we're going to open up this and homework 3. Okay, now in order to make sure that it don't have any sort of conflicting data row, I'm going to delete from both tables here first. This way it'll be nice and empty whenever I go to use it, and we're just going to go ahead and not do this section right now. So I'm going to comment them out. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. Now it says there were no transactions in process, query was successful. Good. So the query was successful, so let's go ahead and go back over here to our table, hit the refresh button. There we go. We have person ID 1 through 4, which is John Johnson, Dave Davis, Frank Sinatra, Bob Marley, and all of their phone numbers listed here. I could have also used this statement to add phone number, addresses, states, all sorts of interesting facts about them if I had chosen to, but right now we're just concerned with phone numbers. So then it wants me to also add the people into the phone num table. So I'm going to go ahead and do that by this insert statement, which is inserting it into the phone number. Now, it was important that I already have the data in friends before a phone number because of our foreign key problem. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run this. Now, if we come over here to phone num, view data, view top 100 rows, okay, there we go. Now we have this, and the foreign key is matching up nicely. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4 all exist. Now, we have a phone integer ID, which means that this is the first phone number that each of them have, which is nice. Now, the nice thing about this is because I don't have a primary key, I can enter multiple phone numbers into this data table from the other table because it'll already exist in the other table, which is good, but then I won't have the constraint of having multiple person IDs in there. So it's nice if Bob Marley happens to have more than one phone number, I can record it in this table without too much trouble. Then the phone ID integer would change to 2 for that one. Okay, so we've looked at both of the tables. They both seem to be working kind of nicely. Now, what would have happened if we didn't have the foreign key number in there? Let's see if we can do something like that. So I select this, paste it down. Let's say 5 here. I used 5 here to insert it here. Warning. There we go. We come up with an error because it violates foreign key constraint FK. And that's the one I set up earlier that says I'm not allowed to have any data in here that is not already in the friends table. The person ID 5 doesn't exist here, therefore it cannot exist here. Okay, so moving on. We have inserted the data into the 2 rows with an insert statement. Now we're going to create a select statement that queries the 2 tables and displays the results. That's this down here. Now I can uncomment this. Now this select statement is just like the other one. I'm going to select star here, but what I've done is I've stuck a little identifier here which references this already so that I don't have to write out people and friends each time I want to reference it. I can just type a dot and then whatever data I want from the table. Makes it a lot easier. So I'm selecting a dot star and b dot star. That means I'm selecting everything from this table from schema people friends and this table from schema people table phone num, where, now this is the conditional statement, I'm saying that I'm only going to select the data that has person ID of schema A, which is friends, equal to the person ID of phone num. Right, so if we go ahead and run that, there we go, we have all this data. Now, see, I selected everything, so it showed the blank columns, even though it's kind of makes it hard to see everything. So let's see if we can do something else. Let's go ahead and edit this a little bit. So select a dot person ID, comma a dot first name, a dot last name, and then b dot star. Let's see what this gives us. There, I've eliminated all the empty columns, so it's very nice to see. Our person ID is lining up there nicely. So we have a redundant column here, so additionally I can just go over here to just select phone ID and b dot phone num. Oop, gotta have a close quote. There. Now I have all this data in a very nice, concise form. Alrighty, now we can just go over here to the next section, which says how to write an update statement. So let's say that I wanted to update the table, update let's say John Johnson's info. Let's go ahead and do that with this statement right here. Update. I'm updating this table. I'm setting the phone equal to this number wherever person ID is equal to 1. So let's go ahead and look at our data table here. Go ahead and run this and refresh this. Oh wait, this isn't the right table, that's the other table. So we have friends, refresh this, there you see the top number changed. Now, that's how you update a row. I can update any row I want in there, so it's very nice. Instead of having to go into each table, I can just write a simple statement like that and update it. Alright, so now for 6, 7, and 8, it wants us to write a group statement that counts the number of times a lottery number is found for N1, N2, and 3. Now, I've already shown you how to do this in a previous query statement, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that up from project 1. So select, it's another select statement, select N1, counting N1 and count, so that count goes through and counts the number of times that each one has appeared, each distinct number has appeared for each of them. Now I've commented out the rest of this because it only asks for N1, N2, and N3, but we can run this really quick. Ooh, seems we have an error. Let's view our data, see what's going on. Okay, it's got everything there. So let's go back over here and see what the error is. Lot N2 does not exist. Well, this should exist. It's worked before. I'm not sure why it's not working right now. But this will give you a statement that is much similar to what you saw before that'll count the individual numbers. So, good thing I have a backup. I can just go over here and run the MATLAB, which will show me the individual columns here, A1, A2, and A3. And as you can see, this is the number of times it's occurred, and this is the specific number that is occurring. So the number 48 is found 7 times in column A3. And you can do that with this statement here. You make a query and you set it up just like you would over here. You select, you count the occurrences in N1, you say it's from this lot, group by N1, order by N1, ascending. Basically what we have over here, but for some reason Postgres isn't working right now. So we can use MATLAB to solve it. And that is how